Online Tonight is live and on the air at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546.
Online Tonight.
Okay. Explain.
I can't. I don't know how he's doing it.
You're not gonna do anything about that?
What am I gonna do, huh? Broadcast her over the internet?
And now, from the craziest city on the planet, this is Online Tonight, on the air toll-free at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. And now, the host of Online Tonight, Max.
All right, welcome. Welcome. I think the microphone's working. I don't hear it in my head, but I'm sure it'll probably be fine.
I hear it.
All right, great. Welcome to Online Tonight on this wonderful Sunday. My name is Max Smart. This is Online Tonight. We call it episode number 2088. And we are here to talk about the latest in tech, pop culture, and more. More can include anything except for politics. I don't really talk politics. There's plenty of other people who do that really well. So theme parks, food, video games, pets, movies, etc. Coming up this hour, of course, we've got our Geek Speak, our Bookmark This, who's using AI for what, new tech to hopefully improve Amazon deliveries, and our review of Welcome to Derry, which is a prequel. More on that later. But more importantly, I am here to make your life easier when it comes to tech products that you encounter every day. Whether you're having a snafu with your cell phone or you've got some perplexities with your 3D printer, just reach out and I will do my best to help you. You can connect with the show in many different ways. The best way is to call our Broadcast Bionics Caller One system using our toll-free telephone number, 1-800-39-ONLINE. 1-800-396-6546 is that number. You can also, that way we can have a conversation. I always have follow-up questions. You can be my eyes and ears. There are other ways that you can reach out to the show. And one of those ways is by email, show@onlinetonight.com. We also have a text voicemail number, 951-395-1017. Data rates may apply. Leaving a voicemail is your authorization to broadcast your likeness. Again, that number, 951-395-1017. Victoria is producing the show. She's answering your calls and checking your messages on all the different platforms. This portion of the show is brought to you by Paramount Plus. It's officially fall, and the sports season has changed to football. Paramount Plus, you can live stream all NFL games airing on your local CBS station. Find out all Paramount Plus has to offer by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/stream, onlinetonight.com/stream. Now, let's jump into some AI news, some technology news. NVIDIA's market value, at least it was in the middle of the week. I mean, things may have changed on Thursday or Friday, but when I looked at this on, I don't know, Tuesday or Wednesday before the weekend, have to prep, right? NVIDIA's market share was over $5 trillion. It's the first company, at least on the U.S. market, I don't know about any other market, but I'm going to assume that it's probably ever, to hit that mark. Shares rose 14.5% in a week due to high GPU demand and the potential access into the Chinese market. There's still some debate on what NVIDIA will or will not be allowed to offer to China. There's some restrictions, U.S. restrictions, blocking the use of the Blackwell AI chips in China. China also limits imports of some NVIDIA chips over national security concerns, kind of like what we do with Huawei or some of these other companies. Apple is expanding its AI efforts using its own silicon, and they apparently are maybe investing in some NVIDIA server technology. So maybe in combination with their own servers. So Apple may be a new partner. I haven't seen any press releases or 10Q reports. I think if somebody buys something that big, it will probably be in their SEC requirements in the paperwork. I'm assuming that would be in there, but who knows? Maybe some of these things can be secret. We'll find out. Adobe has introduced an AI assistant for Photoshop to automate repetitive design tasks. The assistant uses agentic AI to perform creative work, give recommendations, and offer tutorials. That's always fun. I like tutorials on how to do things. I recently was trying to figure out how to, move some text around in a fancy path, and I watched some tutorials and it showed me how to do it. It was pretty cool. It will also be able to be available in Adobe Express, enabling conversation-style creation along manual editing. The new AI tools include generative upscale, generative fill, and harmonize. I have no idea what that means because I don't really want my photos singing to me. So I'm guessing harmonize means something completely different than musical notes, but we'll see. We'll find out. Generative fill supports partner models like Gemini 2.5 Flash, Lux 1, Firefly image models for text-based edits. Harmonize. Oh, let's read ahead. Maybe we'll learn what harmonize is together. Harmonize blends subjects into scenes by matching light, color, and tone. So nothing to do with music. And now it makes a little more sense to me. The Photoshop AI Assistant is currently in private beta. Adobe Express AI Assistant is live for premium users. The number one competitor, at least over the last couple of years, of Adobe and their suite has been a company called Affinity. Everybody kind of freaked out last month when Canva bought Affinity and simultaneously or shortly thereafter closed the Affinity store. People were losing their mind because used to be able to buy Affinity products were fairly cheap and they were perpetual, meaning you would pay your $80 or $90 and you would own the app forever. No subscription, no ability for Affinity to turn it off. You could use it on an airplane. You could use it without an internet. It didn't ever check for a license online. It was like old-time software where you bought it, you installed it, it was yours, and it didn't check in with corporate to see if you were allowed or not allowed. So people were freaking out that Affinity was going to go to a subscription model or the price was going to increase. Well, last couple days ago, Affinity by Canva was made available, and it includes their three most popular tools: Vector, Photo, and Layout in one interface. So there's tabs. Vector, Pixel, and Layout tabs. Users can customize and share their workspace for different project types and team flows. A Canva account is now required to use the software, though you can register on Canva for free. Canva Premium users will get integrated AI tools like generative fill, expand and edit, remove a background. The move positions Canva as a competitor to Adobe, but everyone was concerned about the price. Guess what the price is? If you don't want to use the AI stuff, you can get the entire suite on Windows or Macintosh for free. You only have to pay if you want the AI services. And it doesn't check into corporate. It's just like a perpetual license, but it's free. So you can install it. It doesn't check in and say, oh, you can't use it today, like Creative Cloud does, Adobe Creative Cloud. So some people are super, super excited. Some people are a little disappointed that some of the features now require a subscription. But if you look at that list of what it used to do and what it can do now, you pretty much have got the same exact software that you might have paid $80 a month ago for free now. So that's pretty exciting. Very quickly, Airbnb is using AI anti-party technology across the U.S. and Canada to prevent party gatherings. I don't know if you know this, but during the 4th of July, apparently there was a house party and the people lit off a bunch of fireworks. And the police department found out about it, and they billed the homeowner $300,000 because it was like $1,000 for everything that shot up into the air. And the homeowner said, I wasn't even home. So the system will analyze factors like reservation length, distance, property type, last-minute timing to help prevent some of these more risky bookings from occurring. If you're an Airbnb user and you're concerned about that stuff, you should look into what they're doing. Don't forget, you can give me a call, 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. It's online tonight. Stay tuned.
Looking for a one-of-a-kind gift or to complete your own collection? Sumerian Collection offers a wide variety of vintage goods with new items added weekly. Books, collectibles, clothing items, jewelry, gadgets, and gizmos galore. Many items are from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, but exclusive finds from earlier time periods become available as well. Rare vintage items include dolls from around the world and foreign language books. Online shopping at Sumerian Collection is a breeze, with Etsy's secure payment processing and shipping to U.S. locations included free with every purchase. Visit SumerianCollection.etsy.com to see what's new and vintage this week. SAMERIAN Collection.ETSY.com. SAMERIAN Collection.ETSY.com. Sumerian Collection.
Online tonight.
Geek Speak. Geek Speak.
All right, this hour's Geek Speak, where we take a tech term and turn it into plain English right before your very ears, is sleep mode. Some people also call it hibernate. Before we jump into that, this portion of the show is brought to you by Anchor. I'm so excited that Anchor has launched their new Nano wireless car charger. It means that the phone is held securely, either on your dashboard or on your window, so that you have a safe viewing angle. It includes a QI2 certified 15-watt wireless charging pad. And what's cool about that is you can actually remove it and take the charging pad with you. So it incorporates itself into the holder, but then you can take it with you. And the holder, the head rotates 360 degrees and it tilts 45 degrees. That way you can get that perfect viewing angle so that you can drive safely. Shouldn't be touching your phone anyway. Use your voice assistant if you want stuff. Usually you just have your maps or your navigation on there when it's right there in front of you. Don't use it for anything else. Otherwise, it's unsafe. But you can check out all the great Anchor products at our website, onlinetonight.com/anchor. onlinetonight.com/ANKER. Now, sleep mode or standby. So maybe not hibernate. Maybe we'll talk about that a different time, but let's just focus on sleep mode and standby. This is a power saving mode for computers and other electronic devices. In a way, your mobile phones have a similar kind of feature, but you don't actually have to push a button. So when the device receives the correct signal from the user or even from a network, it can kind of go to sleep. It can use less power and not do as many processes or any. When a computer goes to sleep, it does not completely shut down. Instead, it cuts the power to 80-90% of the hardware in there. It does maintain power for critical components. So if you have an open document and RAM and it hasn't been saved to the hard drive yet, it's going to still give power to the RAM so that you don't lose your document. Standby mode also feeds some power to USB ports or network ports, and of course your keyboard or physical buttons, so that it knows, hey, you want me to wake up now by pushing something or getting a network ping that will then wake it up. The CPU, the GPU, the storage drives, and some other components can lose power, or they can just get a little tiny trickle. Most computers enter standby mode automatically, depending on if you use the default settings on a Mac or Windows, it's already going to go into a sleep type mode after an hour, or depending on what the default is for your operating system, but you can customize that on how long it takes before you aren't doing anything and it decides to go to sleep. But if the computer loses all of its power, remember that anything that was in RAM is going to be lost. So always try to save your documents or whatever you're working on before you leave your computer in case it goes to sleep, or worse, it loses power. So that is this hour's Geek Speak Sleep, or what's also known as standby mode.
Online Tonight.
Our other radio show is a Lamborghini. And as a matter of fact, we do own the road. This is Online Tonight. Now here's Max.
All right, the phone lines are open. Use our Broadcast Bionics Caller One system and use our toll-free telephone number, 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546 is the toll-free telephone number. And the you can also follow me on X and Instagram. The address there is at Max Smart Radio, at Max Smart Radio on both Instagram and X.
We have a listener question.
Please.
This is an email from iPad Curious in LV, which I'm assuming is Las Vegas, but could be something else. I have an iPad Pro with the M4 chip. Is it worth upgrading to the new M5? That's it. That's the question.
Okay. Short and sweet. You have an M4. Should I get an M5? My initial reaction is no. If you had an older iPad, maybe one of the A16s or one of the other ones, then you're going to see a huge performance increase. But the amount of money that these M5 iPad Pros cost right now, I think they're almost like $1,000. Even on sale, they're in the $800-900 range. And you're going to get a 12 to 15% increase. And I don't know that, for me personally, it would not be worth it. But I don't know your workflow. If you are doing a lot of, I don't know what you're using it for. If you're doing music tracks, if you're doing Final Cut, if you're doing Affinity, or other things like that, maybe that 12% to 15% increase is going to be what you need to be more profitable. I'm not seeing it really, honestly, in most scenarios. But I'm sure somebody could build a case where it would make sense to go from an M4 to an M5 iPad Pro. They're just so close, and the amount that you're going to get, I don't know that it's worth $1,000, because I don't know where you're gonna. Are you gonna trade in your M4? This is why the phone call would be great, because I would love to talk to you, iPad Curious, if it what you're using it for. If this is just for mail and surfing, maybe some gaming, I don't even think that if you're a high-end gamer and you're going to really see a huge amount of ray tracing and performance or frames per second. I really don't see the value in that particular scenario. I think you're going to be okay with the M4. It's a great processor. It works well. Remember that the M5 is probably going to get just as hot, if not hotter, and may throttle more. So any perceived benefit that you were thinking of getting by pushing the chip harder, it might shut down sooner. There's a lot of things going on. If you have an older one, however, it's definitely worth looking at, because just the jump between the A series and the M4 or the M5 is fantastic and might really change the way you're doing your business. But if this is not really something that's going to help you generate revenue or save you, if it saves you 40 seconds, is that worth $1,000? Only really you can answer that, not me. But for me, no. In fact, I still like using one of my older machines that takes a while to export stuff, because then I get to get up, I get to go find some Halloween candy, or I make myself a coffee, and I come back and it's done. And that works for my lifestyle. It might not work for your lifestyle. So you would be the best judge. But my initial attitude is the chips are so similar that it's really not worth the cost, in my opinion. Let me know if you have a different opinion, or you can help me understand why you think it would be that much of a value to you. That would be great. You can drop me a note, show@onlinetonight.com. You can text 951-395-1017. Leave a voicemail or a text. It's Online Tonight. Stay tuned.
At Bon Voyage Earns, we love our pets. We couldn't imagine our lives without them. But we know that when they pass on, we want to treat them with the respect they deserve, because they're family members too. Bon Voyage Earns makes biodegradable, marine-safe urns for the delivery of pets' cremated remains to a beautiful resting place in the Pacific Ocean. Love them while you have them. Give them a proper send-off when it's time. More information at bvorns.com.
We're on the air live tonight. 1-800-39-ONLINE. 1-800-396-6546 is the number.
Online tonight.
That was wicked hot, you guys!
Gotta hit the button. Hey, this is Online Tonight. I am Max Smart. Thank you so much for including me in your day. I greatly appreciate it. Our call hour broadcast by Onyx Caller One system using our toll-free telephone number at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. You can also reach out via email or text and voicemail. Our email, show@onlinetonight.com, and the text voicemail number is 951-395-1017. Before we jump into our series review, this is more of a TV series based on a movie and some books and other things, but this is a series. Let me share with you very quickly that I mentioned last week that we're going to be working with Swag to the Max. You can go to swagtothemax.com, by the way. They are a promotional products company, so if you're looking to give your employees or maybe your customers some kind of gifts for the holidays, maybe an appreciation gift with your company logo, swagtothemax.com takes care of that. Fantastic. They also have a t-shirt and hat store, and I'm going to be adding some of my personal designs there, Pirates based. So keep an eye out for that, and we will let you know when that's officially launched, but you can use them for your own needs right away. Swagtothemax.com. In fact, they are working with customizing some custom electronic devices with a company logo, and they're going to give those as gifts to their employees during the holidays. So there's still time to get things like that done. Just check with them, and they'll let you know what the lead times are and what they need from you, and give you a great competitive quote. Swagtothemax.com.
From Hollywood.
One very important thing, mate. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow.
Blockbusters, tearjerkers, family fare.
Everything is awesome.
What's worth seeing in the theater, and what should you just watch at home?
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Here are your hosts.
I'm Max.
And I'm Victoria.
Well, thank you so much for joining me. Greatly appreciate you staying around, Miss Victoria, to help with the show today.
No problem.
All right. Movie-based series on HBO Max. It's called It, Welcome to Derry. I always want to say Derby for some reason, but it's Derry. But it's not spelled like the cow dairy. It's spelled like the town. D-E-R-R-Y. Derry. Rated TVMA. TVMA. I cannot point that out. The first episode completely creeped me out. Maybe we'll, without being too specific.
It's
because
gross.
It's extremely graphic in every possible way.
It's bloody. It's violent.
I'm just going to jump in and tell you what the scene is because it is extremely disturbing. young boy who gets thrown out of a movie theater because he gets caught. He decides, he's going to run away. Young, so like 10 or 11. And he's hitchhiking to get out of town. And he is picked up by this family of people, two kids, just about his age or maybe slightly older, and a driver who's the male, and the passenger is the female. It's a mom, probably. And she's pregnant, like 9.5 months pregnant. And basically, she gives birth to a demon in the car, and we see the whole thing, like from the whole thing, as it's actually scurrying out of the clothing from that place. So it's not for children. I'm still freaking out about it.
It's about children, but it's not for children.
Ugh.
Yeah.
I don't have nightmares, but so close. All right, tell us about it. How many episodes? How many episodes are we in? How many in this thing? When did it start? When does it end?
Okay.
What's the future?
So there's 2 episodes available now, and it was kind of weird the way they dropped them. One was on the 26th, which was a Sunday
of October.
Yeah, and then the other one dropped on Halloween, which is a Friday.
Mm-hmm.
So there are currently 2 available. There's 8 total in the season, and they vary in length because the first one was over an hour, and then the second one was around an hour. I don't know what the rest are going to be. So there's only 2 up until November 9th. So they skipped the second because they released one in between. And so next Sunday they're going to release another one, and then each of the next episodes are going to be on Sunday nights or Sundays. That they're gonna not Sunday nights, but they'll drop on Sundays, and that means the season finale will be December 14th. And interestingly enough, IMDb indicates that there are at least 2 other seasons coming.
Already?
Well, because they put it down as 10 total episodes. So they have an episode 1 listed for season 2 and an episode 1 listed for season 3. Season 2 coming in 2026 and season 3 coming in 2027.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, It is that scary movie by Stephen King, right? It's Stephen King. And in the movies, it was portrayed by Bill Skarsgård.
In the more recent 2 movies. Originally, it was a TV movie, and Tim Curry was the clown.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Back in the 80s.
So the theatrical movies.
90s, early 90s.
And Bill is really kind of famous for this character. Anytime he's interviewed, people always ask him, can you do the face? Can you do the face? Because he has this very creepy face, kind of Jack Nicholson, the Joker face, where it's just this really disturbing smile.
Curls his mouth.
And then he points his lip like a little point, like the front of a car or like a Studebaker. And it's like a bullet. And it just sticks. It's so creepy. And when they were making this film, I saw an interview with him not too long ago. And I'll tell you why I'm bringing him up in a minute. But I saw him with an interview, and they said they kept him and the kids separated. And he came out, and he was yelling and grabbing and screaming and drooling on the child because, obviously the clown hates children. And then he's thinking in the back of his head, am I traumatizing this child? And then they cut, and he said, are you okay? And the kid stopped crying. He was having trouble breathing and crying and everything. He was acting. And he goes, oh, I love what you're doing with the character. I love what you're doing with the character. So he felt better. But he, at one point, was actually concerned that he was damaging his fellow actor. I bring him up because he's the executive producer of the series, which makes me hope that we have a flash forward. This is a prequel. We mentioned that, right? This is kind of how it came up. The only thing that's kind of confusing me is there are a lot of things going on. We've got kids. We have adults. We have a military base. We have, I guess they're not used to having black people in their town. And
well, it's 1962.
Because of the military base, there are now some the soldiers, and now their soldiers' families are moving in. So, there may or may not be a little bit of
racial tension.
That's a good way to put it. Yeah. But we'll see.
Yeah,
we're only 2 episodes in.
Stephen King is known for setting his things in Maine because that's just what he does. He's from, I guess he's from Maine originally. And so
Well, there's
Derry,
nothing
this
creepier
is
than Maine,
actually
so.
not the first thing to be, it is not the first thing to be set in Derry. He has used it in other, don't ask me what because I don't remember. But he has used it several times in his novels and, the things that have been produced from those novels, either TV or movies. And he also refers to the town of Derry in other properties that don't take place there. So it is kind of a prevalent theme for him, and it is a non-existent town. It's a fictional town that he's made up, but it's supposedly either very close to Bangor, Maine, or his fictionalized version of Bangor, Maine.
Okay.
We've been there.
We've been to Bangor, Maine?
We have,
Where?
yeah.
What did we do there?
I ate lobster, of course.
Is that where we had the RV parked by the lake or the river or whatever?
No, I think that was more out. It wasn't in. We went through Bangor, I think, one day.
So it was a pass through.
Just kind of a pass through.
Did we even stop to eat there?
I'm not sure.
Well, I'm going to tell you, some of the best lobster I ever had was at that Red's Shack, right by I'm guessing it's a river or an inlet from the ocean.
I think that was near Bar Harbor.
My goodness, that was one of the best places. And what's weird is the season was closing, and so we, not everybody was open, but the places that were open still had some good lobster.
We got it on the last day of the season.
All right, very quickly, we were talking about It. Welcome to Derry, rated TVMA on HBO Max. If you're not offended by extreme violence and blood, then maybe you'll check it out. It's online tonight. Stay tuned.
If you're an author interested in turning your works into audiobooks, Narrate Your Own Book is for you. Since 2005, David H. Lawrence XVII has taught 3,000 students the ins and outs of voiceover work, including narration of audiobooks. As an author, your curriculum includes more than the performance and recording aspects of narration. You also learn how to prepare your manuscript to become an audiobook and market it once it's finished. Visit narrateyourownbook.com for more information and a sample class. narrateyourownbook.com.
Online tonight.
Hey, bookmark this.
All right, every hour we give you a Bookmark This, which is a website that we hope you find fun, entertaining, or educational. Today's is ballotpedia.org. And you don't have to worry about spelling it. Just check out the show notes, episode number 2088. And we put the links in every show notes, hour 1, hour 2. This is for hour 1. Ballotpedia.org. There's an election day happening this week. I believe it's on Tuesday. You may have voted by mail earlier, or maybe you're going to walk into a thing. And this is not one of those presidential election years. There's a bunch of other races to keep track of, though. So this nonprofit site is home to the Encyclopedia of American Politics. It's a great source of unbiased information on elections, politics, policy. You can track the results of nationwide elections on this website, ballotpedia.org, and use it as a resource when preparing to vote in any upcoming election. That is ballotpedia.org, ballotpedia.org. Don't forget, we put the link right in the show notes, episode 2088, hour 1. And that is this hour's Bookmark This, brought to you by Southwest Airlines. They've done away with their 2 free bag checks, but they are making exceptions for different levels of Rapid Rewards members. So it's even more important than ever to become a Rapid Rewards member. And if you go to our website, onlinetonight.com/SWA, it'll take you right to the Rapid Rewards membership page. And you can check out all they have to offer and maybe sign up. Again, onlinetonight.com/SWA. Oh.
Online tonight.
Listen, rinse, repeat. This is Online Tonight. Now, here's Max.
I'm not really sure how this is going to work, but I thought I would share it with you anyway, and that is that Amazon is testing some advanced eyeglasses for delivery drivers. It's called Amelia, I believe. That's like maybe the internal name or the code name. Not exactly sure. But apparently these glasses give them turn-by-turn directions that it'll even scan the package code and help capture proof of delivery photos. I was in the mailroom building place area waiting for a printer, and they barely made it before, because we're in a shared building. So we have to, people leave. It's not my employees. This is why I went down there in case I had to stand outside the door and wait if they were late. They came and they brought a tote, and it had, more than just my package because there's more than just one office. And so they asked, oh, can you sign for this one? Okay, can you sign for this one? And then they were taking photos of the tote bag and as they were coming in and out. These glasses sound like a pretty good idea. They wouldn't have to actually, they still want to get signatures for each office, each suite number, so to speak. But they won't have to take the extra, 2 minutes probably taking all the photos because it looks like the smart glasses are going to do it. The glasses aim to replace bulky handheld GPS devices and offer navigation tips for complex deliveries with swappable battery packs addressing battery life concerns. Well, why can't you get a unit on your glasses that have a pack? I mean, one of the patents I'm working on, it can do 24/7 blah, 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 because it has an external battery pack that lasts a day and a half without having to charge it. The technology's there. You just have to decide if you want people to have a cord or not, I guess. The technology is part of Amazon's focus on the last 100 yards to speed up the final delivery steps. One tip to Amazon drivers, we love you. We thank you so much for bringing us our stuff. Please read the ticket. It says the place doesn't open until 9 a.m. and that the place closes at 6. Stop trying to deliver things at 7:15 at night. Nobody's there.
Yeah, I wonder the functionality of the delivery instructions section. Like, why is it there if nobody looks at it?
Why is it not like a coffee bar's ticket? It says, what kind of milk do you want? Non-fat. What kind of syrup do you want? I don't know. How many shots of espresso do you want? Do you want it cold or do you want it hot?
Yeah, when it prints the
yes
shipping label, it should have those instructions somewhere.
And if it doesn't print it out, how is it not in the instructions that are on the tablet or on the screen? It makes no sense to me because then it says, oh, we're sorry. We had trouble delivering it. If you'd like to update the delivery instructions, so I go in and it says the business is closed. The business is open from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. I don't know how else I'm supposed to tell them. I don't know that these glasses are necessarily going to help. I hope that they are. Hundreds of drivers have already tested these glasses, and Blue Jay is operational in the South Carolina warehouse with expansion planned. I don't know what Blue Jay is. They just told me that the code name was Amelia. What's Blue Jay?
Blue Jay is a robotic arm.
Oh, did we cover that before? Because if so, I forgot about it. So thank you, Victoria, for the reminder. Amazon expects warehouse automation to reduce U.S. hiring by 160,000 people over the next 2 years, though it does plan to hire 250,000 temporary holiday workers. Amazon shares dropped 2% to $216 earlier in the week. Don't quote me on any of these dates because I don't know when I grabbed the information, so the stock is probably something different. I don't do any financial information, so don't worry about that. Samsung. Oh, some people are unhappy about the number of ads that have increased on YouTube. There was some kind of, I don't know, rumor or something that Apple was going to start adding ads to maps. And people were like, oh, can you imagine if you bought a $1,600 refrigerator or $3,000 refrigerator and it has that touch screen and it started showing you ads? Would you lose your mind? I know how to solve the problem, but I would be so mad I probably would punch the display out. Or I would just unplug it from the inside of the logic board. Don't unplug the refrigerator, because then all your food's going to go bad. But I would be very annoyed if I spent that kind of money and all of a sudden the display was saying, hey, you should go to XYZ chicken place and get the 3 chicken strip box. I would lose my mind. Apparently users are going to be able to opt out of the ads via a setting, but just the fact that they're putting them in there I find to be offensive. The ads won't show when the screen displays art or album themes, so maybe that's the workaround. Just put family photos on there or your favorite pictures of food, like I would, and then don't hook it up to the internet, maybe. I don't know what the answer is. So let me know what you think. Ads on your refrigerator or Apple Maps, 1-800-39-ONLINE. It's online tonight. Stay tuned.
Online Tonight is produced and copyrighted by Smart Family Media. All rights reserved. Host Maxwell Smart. Producer and other hats worn by Victoria Smart. Views and opinions expressed are those of the host, guest, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, affiliates, or other advertisers.
We're taking your calls right now at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546.
Online tonight.
What do you know from funny, you bastard?
And now, from the craziest city on the planet, this is Online Tonight, on the air toll-free at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. And now, the host of Online Tonight, Max.
All right, hello, and welcome to Hour 2 of Online Tonight on this great Sunday. We're still calling it episode 2088. I am Max Smart. Here on Online Tonight, we talk about tech, pop culture, and more. Coming up this hour, of course, we've got our Geek Speak, our Bookmark This. We've got some video games that are coming out this month. Another product for your toilet. I might skip it, but I might feel the need to talk about another one. If you remember last week, I was completely wigged out. We've got our movie review of K-pop Demon Hunters, plus the most important thing, taking your calls and messages with your questions. Because I want you to think of me as your tech wrangler. Right? My goal is to assist you in taming those pesky tech issues that might be making your life difficult. No question is too small or silly or unimportant. So give me a call on our Broadcast Bionics Caller 1 system using our toll-free telephone number, 1-800-39-ONLINE. 1-800-396-6546 is the toll-free telephone number. I like this method the best because I always have follow-up questions. We can have a conversation. You can be my eyes and ears. Like last hour, I had lots of questions, but it was an email. So I was basically talking to myself, which, if you see this back here, I used to do a lot as a child. There are other ways to ask questions, however, if you're listening to the podcast or maybe you're listening to one of the stations or live streams that tape delay us. You can also send us an email and a text and all that stuff. I'll give you all that information in just a moment. Victoria's taking your calls and going through your text and emails. This portion of the show is brought to you by Anchor. They've been a pioneer in charging technology for over 10 years. Want to charge your devices quickly and efficiently? Anchor has all kinds of fast chargers, including their Prime and Nano lines, as well as their Mag Go, which is their ultra-fast magnetic wireless chargers. Check out Anchor by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/anchor, onlinetonight.com/ANKER. Now, that email, show@onlinetonight.com, and the text voicemail, 951-395-1017. Data rates may apply. Leaving a voicemail is your authorization to broadcast your likeness. Again, 951-395-1017. Let's jump into some video game news. I'm very excited about what's coming out in November, so I'm just going to give you 10 of the games to look for this month and when they come out and what platforms they're for. And I'm not saying one's better than another. You decide what you like. Age of Empires 4, the anniversary edition for the PS5, comes out November 4th. Satisfactory for the PS5, the Xbox Series X and S on November 4th as well. Football Manager 26, that's available on the PC, the PS5, the Xbox X Series, Xbox One, and it's also available on mobile. That comes out on the 4th. Sonic Rumble, that is a PC and a mobile game. That comes out on the 5th, which I think is what, Wednesday? Don't quote me on the exact day, but it's not today, which is what, the 2nd? So it's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, sometime this week. All right, and Unbeatable also comes out this week, PC, Xbox, and PS5. Going into next week, Fallout 4, the anniversary edition, that's available on a bunch of stuff. PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series X and S, November 10th. Dragon Ball Sparkling Zero. I've never played it. That's available on the Switch on November 14th. Call of Duty Black Ops 7. PC, PS, I'm guessing 4 and 5, it doesn't specifically say in my copy. And the Xbox Series, again, probably not the 360, but probably the newer ones. That comes out November 14th. 2 more. SpongeBob SquarePants Titans of the Tide. PS5, the Switch 2, Xbox Series X and S on November 18th. And something that I'm interested in, but I have absolutely no way to play it, Deadpool VR. That's available on the MetaQuest 3 and the 3S, and that comes out on November 18th. Some quick news on GTA 6. Grand Theft Auto 6 is scheduled for release on May 26th of 2026 for the PlayStation 5 and the Xbox Series X. The PC release and pricing have not yet been confirmed. So we know when it's going to come out for the other 2 platforms, but we don't know when it's going to come out for the PC. We have no idea what the price is going to be. It was supposed to be out already. It was supposed to be out October, November, December. Didn't work out. Rockstar has delayed it until May of 2026. Let's hope they're going to meet that date. Rockstar emphasized that they're working on the quality and meeting the high expectations of the game because it's a very popular franchise. No details yet on GTA Online. There's going to be updates or whether it will launch alongside GTA 6. The Take-Two CEO, Stratis Zelnick, expressed strong confidence in the May date. Rockstar has a history of delaying major titles, GTA 4 and 5, Red Dead Redemption 2. Those were all delayed so that they could polish things up, I guess. GTA 6 is being pitched as the largest game launch in history with a global one-day audience in the millions. So yeah, it'll be interesting. I'm sure somebody will eventually compare it to Call of Duty Black Ops 7 because I hear that's going to probably be a big one as well, but maybe GTA will crush them. Well, we'll have to wait till May to find out. Some new platforms for games. Just Dance Now. I don't know if you're aware of this. Was a fairly popular game. And where's the last place that you think it would pop up? How about on your LG TV? LG and Ubisoft will be bringing Just Dance Now to LG Smart TVs starting this year in December via the LG gaming portal for any TV that is running WebOS 22 or later. No additional hardware is necessary, so I don't know how it works. The LG Magic Remote is your motion sensor, but how does it know where my feet are? Just Dance Now was originally launched in 2014 for mobile and later for Apple TV. It has hundreds of songs spanning lots of different decades. So if you're an 80s fan or a boy band fan or things like that, then there should be something there for you. Users can play for free for a limited time every day. Or if you want to play more, you can subscribe. And there's different plans You can even purchase song packs for more content. The beta will launch ahead of December, allowing players to try 3 songs initially and then 1 per day for the 2-week trial. LG's gaming portal is positioning itself as a console alternative. It already hosts Xbox Game Pass Cloud and GeForce Now. And on the TVs that are 4K and 120 hertz, then that's what you get streaming-wise. Board games are going digital, a little bit more about games and videos and things like that. Brian Putnam, who's the founder of Mirror, has launched a new startup called Board, B-O-A-R-D, a gaming device combining board games and video games. Board features 24-inch touch-sensitive screen with a wood finish that recognizes gestures and physical game pieces for up to 4 to 6 players. It's $500, and it launches with 12 games and 50 game pieces, with AI planned to personalize the experience over time. The AI features might include adaptive storylines, vision and voice inputs, accessibility tools, some creative self-expression capabilities. Not sure what that means. Does that mean the AI will be self-expressing, or will it allow us to be self-expressing? The startup's initial game studio created the initial games with plans for external developers to contribute via an app store, like Monopoly maybe, or Risk, or Sorry, or Life, or what else do I have? Mousetrap. I don't think you could play Operation because you have to be able to stick the prongs down the hole. Board has raised over $15 million from investors, from like the Box Group and First Round, and is preparing for a Series A. Putnam views games as a universal activity that unites people, similar to how Mirror connected users through fitness. Do you have family board game day or game night? We do. Let us know. 1-800-39-ONLINE. Stay tuned.
At Bon Voyage Earns, we love our pets. We couldn't imagine our lives without them. But we know that when they pass on, we want to treat them with the respect they deserve, because they're family members too. Bon Voyage Earns makes biodegradable, marine-safe urns for the delivery of pets' cremated remains to a beautiful resting place in the Pacific Ocean. Love them while you have them. Give them a proper send-off when it's time. More information at bvorns.com.
Online tonight.
Geek Speak.
All right, this hour's Geek Speak, where we take a tech term and turn it into plain English right before your very ears, is hibernate. We'll get back to that in just a moment because I want to share with you that Govee, now through November 11th, has got like a fan festival sale going on. This means that there are special deals on their lighting products with up to 40% off. And this includes lighting for the holidays. So if you're planning on decorating this year, then you might want to check this out. You can learn more about Govee's products at onlinetonight.com/Govee, onlinetonight.com/GOVEE. All right, now, hibernate. I mentioned this kind of briefly last hour and then realized it's better to have its own because it's not really sleep mode, because sleep mode, it can still do things. Hibernate is a power-saving mode for desktop and laptop computers that serves as a middle ground between sleep mode and off, completely shut down, turned off. But like sleeping, hibernating preserves the contents of the system memory. We talked about RAM and how RAM needs to have power so that you can keep your documents if you haven't saved them yet. So any open files or active programs that are using the memory can still, maintain that. Hibernating turns the computer's power off entirely instead of maintaining a low state, meaning it's not just trickling power in to keep the RAM. So hibernating helps the laptop maintain its battery charge while it's being unused and disconnected from the power. So in hibernate, your computer will take the contents of the RAM and it makes like a snapshot. It kind of like takes a photo and it sticks it on the hard drive. and then it turns itself off. So all of the state, all of the unsaved documents that you might have are protected. And then when you turn it back on, it says, oh, I was in hibernate mode. I should grab that picture of all of the stuff that was going on. I should bring it back in so that everything is ready for you when I get the display and all those other things all ready for you, and turn the keyboard and everything back on. So in Windows, the hibernate option appears in the shutdown menu alongside sleep, shutdown, and restart. It's also an option in the control panel. In macOS, there's this thing called safe sleep. In Linux, it's called hybrid sleep. If the computer remains powered during this sleep, it can wake instantly by loading the saved state from RAM. If it loses power while hibernating, the saved state can still be restored once the battery or gets recharged or you plug it in. So it helps you keep your documents and everything safe. The safest thing to do is to save your files, and then this won't be such an issue. But because it was, these companies in their combination of hardware and the software have created Hibernate for you. That is this hour's Geek Speak, Hibernate.
Online tonight.
All right, the phone lines are open, so call our Broadcast Bionics Caller One system using our toll-free telephone number, 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. Don't forget, you can follow me on Instagram and X. I use the same account name on both platforms. It's at Max Smart Radio, at Max Smart Radio on both platforms. Miss Victoria.
We have a listener question. This one came in a text from Susie in D.C. Any idea how I can get my kids to take a break from YouTube Shorts? We have the limits and bedtime reminders for regular videos, but now we're getting overwhelmed with Shorts.
Okay, I'm going to do the hard love first, and that is you are the parents and you're not their friends, and so you can take things away. But I understand that you probably have way too many devices in your house, phones, tablets, laptops, smart TVs. I kind of get it. And so you are relying on tools to assist you in these rules or policies that you have at home. Now, back in my day, my dad would just take stuff. And even when we were raising our one, we did not allow smart devices. We didn't even allow her to have a TV in her room. So, she could have as many books as she wanted or draw, had an easel and all that stuff, can be creative if that's what's going on, but no devices. That was just kind of our policy. But I know things are changed, and so YouTube is trying to help you out in that area, and they are releasing, it seems like it's slower for some people than others, but they are allowing you to have a time limit feature on YouTube Shorts. But you may not get it right away because it's taking a little while before the setting pops up in your account. But you will have this ability to limit the time using a tool. It's going to be in your YouTube settings. So you might pop in there and have a look. You tap on your account profile picture at the bottom of the app, if you're using the app. If it's on a laptop, it's up in the top corner. But then you go to the settings gear and then you go down to the general tab beside YouTube's existing take a break and bedtime reminders. YouTube says that you can set and adjust how long you'd like to scroll on the Shorts feed. Once you hit that time limit, you will get either a notable dismissible prompt, which will pause the short feeds. But for parents, YouTube says that it's planning to add, so this is not here yet, but it's coming, a Shorts time limit to the app's parental controls to incorporate sometime later this year. I mean, the year's almost up. We're in November already. How many days are left? But apparently it's going to be this year, and it's going to give parents and guardians controlling supervised accounts the ability to turn this setting on and off and make it non-dismissible, meaning that it's a fixed rule, and once the time comes, then you're all set. However, these tools are not always foolproof. And one way to kind of that I've seen some youth mess with things is with VPNs into a different time zone or changing the clocks on their devices. So you as a concerned person need to kind of keep an eye on that and not just 100% rely on that. I checked the on button in settings, and so it should work. You gotta go by and look under the door, see if there's light. You got to do the parental thing sometimes. It's hard. It's not easy. So I gotcha. But use the tools that you can, but, keep your eye out there. If you're not listening live, you can submit a question like Susie did via text at 951-395-1017. You can leave a voicemail there as well. You can also email the show at onlinetonight.com. So you've used Uber in the past. You've gotten yourself a car, maybe an SUV. But have you ever thought about a helicopter or a seaplane? Well, apparently, starting in 2026 in certain cities, you're going to be able to book a helicopter or a seaplane right in the Uber app. The service will integrate rides from different companies that have like electric air taxis and Blade Air Mobility, which has helicopters and seaplanes. And so that could be fun. If you use it, let me know. It's online tonight. Stay tuned.
If you're an author interested in turning your works into audiobooks, Narrate Your Own Book is for you. Since 2005, David H. Lawrence XVII has taught 3,000 students the ins and outs of voiceover work, including narration of audiobooks. As an author, your curriculum includes more than the performance and recording aspects of narration. You also learn how to prepare your manuscript to become an audiobook and market it once it's finished. Visit narrateyourownbook.com for more information and a sample class. narrateyourownbook.com.
Looking around for the phone number, it's 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546.
Online tonight.
The strongest, the most decent, the most caring, the wisest, and the healthiest man I know.
Hey, thank you so much for joining me. Greatly appreciate it. My name is Max Smart. Name of the show is Online Tonight. Our Broadcast Bionics Caller 1 system is ready to take your call using our toll-free telephone number at 1-800-39-ONLINE, 1-800-396-6546. You can also reach out to me via email or our text voicemail number. The email address show@onlinetonight.com and the text voicemail number 951-395-1017. Before we jump into our movie review of K-pop Demon Hunters, this portion of the show is brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Want to get away? Well, Southwest has over 100 destinations in North America. They also fly to Central America and the Caribbean. Make sure to sign up to become a Rapid Rewards member so that you can start earning free flights and credits towards those checked bags. You can get more information and sign up at onlinetonight.com/SWA. That's onlinetonight.com/SWA.
From Hollywood.
One very important thing, mate. I'm Captain Jack Sparrow.
Blockbusters, tearjerkers, family fare.
Everything is awesome.
What's worth seeing in the theater, and what should you just watch at home?
Are you a good witch or a bad witch?
Here are your hosts.
I am Max.
And I'm Victoria.
And we want to share with you our thoughts on K-pop Demon Hunters, rated PG on the Netflix.
We're a little late to the
on
party.
Netflix. Well, it was such a big hit, apparently. But what fascinated me by the entire thing was how well it did on the music charts, like Billboard.
It's still number 2 on the Billboard Top 200.
It's crazy. At one point, they had 4 songs from the movie in the top 10, and all 7 songs were in the top 100. So it became like this very crazy phenomenon with a lot of songs. you can take a Disney movie like Frozen or I don't know, and only one of those songs might hit the top 10. This is unheard of. It's really not. So we felt we had to go and check it out. Miss Victoria, K-pop Demon Hunters, rated PG on Netflix.
Yes.
I still want you to watch the behind the scenes about the person who did the vocals for Rumi, but explain how this is like Nightmare Before Christmas.
How it's like Nightmare Before Christmas?
Yeah. Wow, you seem puzzled. Let me explain it for you.
Okay.
Nightmare Before Christmas from Tim Burton, you have actors who are playing the acting parts. Jack Skellington, when he's talking, is played by the weird prince guy from A Princess Bride. But then when it's singing time, Danny Elfman does all the singing for Jack Skellington. They did the same kind of thing in this movie, K-pop Demon Hunters.
You know, not all of the speaking roles in Nightmare Before Christmas are sung by different people. Just the main.
Yeah, just Jack Skellington.
Yeah.
So Rumi being the main character.
Yeah, but the other demon hunters have somebody singing for them as well, as do all of the boy band members.
Sure. Exactly. So that's what makes it somewhat similar. All right, tell us the premise.
So there's this world-renowned K-pop girl group called Huntrix that is, a global phenomenon, and everybody loves them. They have lots of fans, but they are actually demon hunters, as the title suggests, but they come from a long line of musical groups who are demon hunters, and they are trying to keep their singing keeps this sort of safety net in place to keep the regular world safe from the demons of the underworld. And so when they reach a certain popularity and their songs reach a certain, pitch or whatever, where the fans are so in sync with them, it creates this kind of a golden net that keeps them safe. And so the girls that's their goal, but there are demons, obviously, who want to counteract that and not allow them to create this safe haven for people. So the demons create a boy band, because how else are they going to compete if not in the realm of music and pop culture and phenomenon kind of thing. And so we get to see them kind of battle it out with this boy band, which they figure out pretty quickly are demons.
What's interesting about the battle is it's not just like Glee Club battling for the state championship or whatever. It's not just song against song. They actually beat each other up. I mean, ghouls come out of the ground and they have to use their magical swords to kill these demons before they influence or get into the area where their people are. But I guess because they've got the songs, the normies, the humans, they've got these songs in their heads, and because of the messages and the joyfulness that the songs provide, they are safe from the demons. But there are actual real demons that are coming up out of the ground and the sewers and the dirt and all that stuff. And so the three girls actually battle them with battle axes and swords. And there's a scene where they are in one of the like the gym, and they start coming out of the windows and the vents, and they have to kaplooey them. So it is rated PG, but there is cartoon violence in that they are actually battling these demons. But then the boy band, you see, they're trying to do the psychological part by having their songs in the humans' brains, and they're not as friendly, they're not as nice, and that lets the demons then get closer to the humans, right? Wouldn't you say that's kind of a
Yeah, I mean their songs are nice, and that's what tricks the fans. They think they're this wonderful boy band. They don't see them as bad people, they see them as good people. So they're disguising themselves as this popular boy band, but they have ulterior motives, and their songs have like a subliminal, or they kind of trick them into a trance that allows them to be
manipulated?
controlled.
Yeah. So does it make you look at boy bands or I don't want to say girl bands, but does it make you look at certain groups slightly differently? Like, what is the motivation of? I mean, this is fantasy, right? So
Right.
it's not necessarily that kind of thing. But people used to say that Alice Cooper, as an example, was trying to convince people to be, bad. But he is very religious, and this was just a character that he had.
Right.
But in this movie, it's actual good versus evil.
Mm-hmm.
But you don't think regular, normal, everyday bands or labels are doing anything nefarious?
I would say sometimes maybe misleading, like back in the Milli Vanilli days,
Oh,
and
jeez.
that kind of thing. But I don't think they're like a cult that they're trying to, recruit
Girl, you
people.
know it's true. Bum, 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 bum. Were you a big Milli Vanilli fan?
No, I didn't know them at all at the time.
What'd you
Other
think
than
of the
playing them.
animation? They did some interesting little tricks that this is from Sony, by the way. So Sony Animation did this, and they used some battle tricks that they did in some of the Spider-Man animated things, where they do half frames to make the action seem even more interesting. How'd you feel about the animation?
I like the animation, and one of my favorite things is because this is more, I would say, more slick than normal anime style that you would see, but the facial expressions that people, especially the girls, they would make these wild facial expressions, and they really reminded me of kind of the sillier characters that you would see in like a
Speed Racer or
where their eyes get a funny shape,
Great.
and
What do
they
you-
make their mouths all big. And
What do you rate it?
I really enjoyed it. I'm going to give it a 4.5, and we don't know yet if there's going to be a sequel.
Well, considering it was such a big hit, I would assume they're going to do something, maybe some series. I will join you in a 4 and a 5. We're talking about K-pop Demon Hunters, rated PG on Netflix. Stay tuned.
Looking for a one-of-a-kind gift or to complete your own collection? Sumerian Collection offers a wide variety of vintage goods with new items added weekly. Books, collectibles, clothing items, jewelry, gadgets, and gizmos galore. Many items are from the 1960s, 70s, and 80s, but exclusive finds from earlier time periods become available as well. Rare vintage items include dolls from around the world and foreign language books. Online shopping at Sumerian Collection is a breeze, with Etsy's secure payment processing and shipping to U.S. locations included free with every purchase. Visit SumerianCollection.etsy.com to see what's new and vintage this week. SAMERIAN Collection.ETSY.com. SAMERIAN Collection.ETSY.com. Sumerian Collection.
Online tonight.
Hey, bookmark this.
All right, every hour we try to give you a bookmark this, a website basically that we hope you find fun, entertaining, or at least educational. This hour's is dictionary.com. Dictionary.com. Do you know the meaning of the word November? This site has great topical information about word origins and its definitions, in addition to offering a word of the day and some fun puzzles and games. If you're not a word nerd, that's okay. You might know someone like maybe Miss Victoria, or you just need maybe a quick.
Hey.
You might need You might need to find something quick to figure out what is the actual meaning of this. This is a good site for that. Let me give you a tip, though. If you're having an argument with someone, do not bring up the dictionary words, because that can really put you in a pickle. Even if you're right, it's not good. Some people get very agitated when you say, let's see what the actual word means. Let's go to dictionary.com and see if what you're saying is even the right idea. So don't do that, but use it for yourself. And there, again, games and puzzles, lots of fun stuff over there. So that's dictionary.com, dictionary.com. That's this hour's bookmark this. Remember, we put the link right there on the website, so you don't have to worry about where the A is or any of the I's. You can just click on it. Look for show number 2088, hour 2. This portion of the show is brought to you by Paramount Plus. Fall means season premieres of all your favorite Paramount Plus series. And if you're looking for some scary content, even though Halloween is over, you can still check out all 6 Scream movies. You can still binge watch those if you want, or you can maybe start watching some of the holiday movies. Those banners will be right up there for you to check out. Those are streaming on Paramount Plus. Find out all Paramount Plus has to offer by visiting our website, onlinetonight.com/stream, onlinetonight.com/stream.
Online tonight.
Where beauty is only a dimmer switch away. This is Online Tonight. Now, here's Max.
All right, I think everybody knows that I'm into technology. I like all kinds of stuff. I like inventing things, and I'm always fascinated by what motivates people to invent things. And I was super excited to see this young person develop something really good and win money for it. What am I talking about? 13-year-old Kevin invented Fall Guard, a camera-based fall detection system for seniors. He won $25,000 and the title of America's top young scientist. Unlike wearable devices, like those watches or those bracelets, I've fallen and Fall Guard uses cameras around the house and AI, an algorithm, to detect falls and can then automatically call caregivers. Kevin was inspired by his grandma's fall, which was so severe that it actually resulted in permanent brain damage. And then he also found out that one of his grandfather's friends fell. So the device is on 24/7, does not require a subscription. You don't have to change batteries in the wearable things, because these things are plugged in. You can use a UPS to keep them powered. It's designed to function even at nighttime, so the cameras are able to see in the dark like a kitty cat. Fall Guard currently costs about $90 to build, but he's hoping with the right partner and the right volume, they can get the price down below $35, maybe down to $30. At least one security camera company has already expressed interest, and more than 10 families are currently on the waiting list to get the device. Falls are the leading cause of injury among adults 65 and over, with over 14 million older adults falling each and every year. Or in our own personal experience, we have one who falls multiple times a year. So I wonder if those numbers are in there. So that's where we are. Last week, if you missed last week's show, episode 2087, hour 2, I had a really hard time with this new camera from Kohler toilets that takes pictures of your poop. And I thought, this is not good. Well, now there's another company that wants to put technology in your toilet, your potty. They're called Withings, Withings. They're launching something called U-Scan. U, as in urine. A toilet-mounted urine analyzer that will work with your iPhone, and it is available now in the U.S. and in Europe. apparently, they developed this many years ago, and there was some kind of delay. The device uses interchangeable cartridges to track different things. And there's scientific names. I'm not even going to get into that. But each cartridge does about 22 tests over 3 months. U-Scan is sold in 2 packages. The Proactive package, which is $380, includes 1 cartridge, or the Intensive package, which is $450 with 2 cartridges. Replacement cartridges cost between $100 and $180 and can be auto-delivered via a subscription. Withings classifies U-Scan as a wellness product rather than seeking FDA approval, focusing on lifestyle tracking rather than diagnostics. The Cycle Sync cartridge for the ladies' time of the month is being developed. It's currently delayed, but they still plan on releasing that. And they're saying that you could use this with that camera thing that was announced, the Dakota or whatever. So I'm back to, I don't want this kind of thing in my potty. Now I feel like they're turning me into a cat. You know how they have that cat litter?
Special litter
that changes color depending on how bad my cat's pee is?
It's probably the same technology.
Okay, but here's the thing. How I have to reach into the potty now. I use a long-handled brush and a spray to clean my potty. I don't want to have to reach in there and change a cartridge. I don't want any of those things in my potty. Do you want things like that in your potty, Miss Victoria? Honestly,
I don't care.
You probably wouldn't change it. And at $200 a cartridge, or $150 a cartridge, or $100 a cartridge, I mean, you go to the bathroom so much, you're going to wear this cartridge out like twice as fast, right?
Yes.
All right. Don't forget, if you missed any portion of the show, you can head over to onlinetonight.com and check out the show archives. We put the bookmark there. We put the Geek Speak there. We put the show notes there for each and every hour. You can subscribe to the podcast. You can listen to the archive right there on the website, or you can watch the visual show by going to youtube.com/onlinetonightTV.
Online Tonight is produced and copyrighted by Smart Family Media. All rights reserved. Host Maxwell Smart. Producer and other hats worn by Victoria Smart. Views and opinions expressed are those of the host, guest, and callers, and are not necessarily those of this station, its management, affiliates, or other advertisers.